It was a bright and sunny morning, and Peppa Pig and her little brother George were filled with excitement. Today was the day they had been waiting for, a trip to the Water Slide Park. Peppa dashed into the kitchen where Mummy Pig was preparing breakfast, her voice bubbling with enthusiasm. "Mummy, Daddy, today is Water Slide Park Day," Peppa announced, her eyes twinkling with joy. Daddy Pig looked over the newspaper and smiled at his eager little one. "Yes, Peppa. Get your swimsuits ready," Daddy Pig said, his voice equally excited. Peppa and George quickly put on their colorful swimsuits, packed their towels, and grabbed a bottle of sunscreen. George, clutching his favorite toy dinosaur, exclaimed with a giggle, "Splash!" Peppa laughed. "Silly George, you'll splash later at the park." In the car, the family sang cheerful songs as they drove down the sunny lanes towards Water Slide Wonderland. Peppa was bouncing with excitement in her seat. "I can't wait to go down the big slide," she squealed. Daddy Pig nodded, keeping his eyes on the road. Finally, they arrived at the park. The entrance was buzzing with families, and a friendly park guide greeted them with a cheerful wave. "Welcome to Water Slide Wonderland," the park guide said, guiding them through the gates. Peppa and George's eyes widened as they saw the tallest slide in the park. "Wow, it's so high!" Peppa gasped, clutching George's hand. Soon, they queued up at the big slide, listening carefully as the park guide explained, "Always go feet first and wait your turn." With a whoosh, Peppa zoomed down the slide, the wind in her face as she let out a delighted wee. George followed right behind, eyes wide and joyful. The splash pool was next, where Peppa and George giggled and splashed around, their laughter mingling with the sound of water. "Splashy splash," Peppa sang out. George chimed in with his own merry splash. Their adventure continued with the twisty slide, which Peppa likened to a roller coaster. "It's like a roller coaster," she exclaimed, the twists and turns making her squeal with glee. Between rides, they paused for a snack, munching on crisp, refreshing apples under the shade. "Water play makes me hungry," Peppa declared, finishing her last bite. Next, they floated lazily on the lazy river, serene and calm around each bend. "So relaxing," George murmured, resting against Daddy Pig's arm. When they joined a water balloon toss game, Peppa was ready to catch every balloon that came her way. "Catch it, George," she called, while they both laughed at the splashy fun. Before leaving, a visit to the gift shop was a must. George's eyes lit up at a duck flow tie, while Peppa admired a sparkly pink pool noodle. The park guide quizzed them one last time. "What should you do before swimming?" Peppa was quick to reply, "Wear sunscreen." In a friendly water slide contest, Peppa raced alongside her friends, exhilarating in the thrill of the slide and all the cheers. I won," she cried out, triumphant at the finish. Finally, it was time to head home. In the car, they chattered happily about their favorites of the day. "The twisty slide was my favorite," Peppa shared. George, barely able to keep his eyes open, murmured, "Splash pool." Back at home, after splashes and slides, Peppa and George snuggled into bed, recalling their day's adventure. "Water parks are amazing," Peppa sighed dreamily. George agreed, his eyes fluttering shut. "Splash," he whispered, a smile curling his lips. And as they drifted to sleep, they knew that they loved water slides. And they loved each other very much.